What's up, you guys? I know we are in a crazy time right now, and I'm aware that a lot of you might be feeling a certain way, some kind of stress, anxiety, or even just worry about what might happen. And I want to add that it's completely normal to feel this way right now. So in this video, I really want to talk about how you can protect your mental health and your mental state during this time of disagreements and stress. And I also want to add, this video is in no way to be political, so I am not here to support one candidate or another. This is about all of us and our mental health and just about helping people. So especially with the holidays coming up, when we're going to be together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and politics might be a big conversation topic. A lot of you might be nervous about that if you know that politics are going to be brought up at the dinner table. So you have two options, really. You cannot talk about it, or you can talk about it. It's totally fine not to talk about it, so don't feel bad. If that's you and you don't want to talk about politics at all, it's really easy just to say, I'm not comfortable talking about politics. That's it. And I've done that many times and no one's ever tried to argue that with me. Another way you could preface it is just starting it with the overall intention and that you care about that person, so they want to talk about politics. You would say, I care about our relationship and I don't feel comfortable talking about politics right now, because that shows them, okay, you're saying you care about the relationship. That's a positive thing. Let's say you do want to talk about politics. Obviously, we should do this in a healthy way. So what's the best way to do that? Before every conversation, you should always set your intention of how you want that conversation to go. So if you're trying to change their mind on their candidate, probably not a good idea, because that probably will not happen. But you can discuss certain topics, and always focus on morals and the values behind the topics, because topics, there's so many nitty-gritty things can get, mixed up. But when it comes to talk about moral values and the ideas behind certain ideas, it's easier to find middle ground and to agree that we all want what's best for our country. And if you think about it, we all want what's best for America, but we just have different ideas of how to do that. Now, I want you to think about what happens in your mind when you see a political sign, like on someone's lawn, for example. So let's say you see the sign. I want you to pay close attention to your immediate thoughts. And if you have any anger, resentment, or fear, or any thoughts that could be negative to you, because you see that sign and immediately this goes through your mind, like that's not the person you would choose for president. I want you to remember, when you see a sign like that and you have that internal reaction of thought, that's actually harmful for your own mental health. It's kind of like they say anger is a double-edged sword. So if you're angry at someone like someone else, you're also impacting yourself, because anger is going on in your thoughts and it's not a positive emotion. So if you have someone you disagree with, you need to take it upon yourself to be the change you want to see. If you want people to listen to your ideas and listen to you, you also have to listen to them. And when you're listening, don't be thinking of what you're going to say next. Just be genuinely listening to them and trying to understand them, trying to understand where they're coming from. It's important that we lead by example. If we want the world to change in a certain way, it has to start with us. We may think, oh, that's just me, I'm not going to create a difference in the world. Don't underestimate yourself, because that's a limiting thought you have that's already going to stop you. If you're someone who's cutting out your friends and family based on the person they chose for president, that's a slippery slope to be walking on. I totally understand there's certain morals and ideals that the other person has that goes against you in a certain way. I totally understand. But you cutting them out is also causing more division in our country, and that's the opposite of what we want. We know we're divided right now, but we want to come together, and it's possible. It's definitely possible. We can do it. So if you're someone who's cut out a friend or a family member, I would encourage you to think again on it and just evaluate it again from a different headspace that you're in now. If things can be mended and you can learn to agree to disagree, that would probably be the best case scenario for you. But I know this is not for everyone, but I just really want to encourage all of us to kind of come together as humanity and as America and try to stop the division that's going on. And I know it might be stressful after the elections. There may or may not be protests, there may or may not be riots. Only time will tell. I know a lot of people are scared. I saw someone at the grocery store today completely stocking up. Their grocery bill was $2,700, something I've never seen before. And this wasn't a Costco, you guys. This was a regular grocery store. So that's something I've never really seen. And just fear, maybe, you know, when I see them buying all those groceries, like that's the first thing that comes off to me. I could be wrong, that's my perception, but I'm perceiving maybe some fear there and anxiety, you know, preparing for the worst case scenario. And it's good to be prepared, but also this is the state at where we're at right now. So some of the things you can do as coping mechanisms to keep yourself mentally healthy during this time, and you know I'm gonna say it as every doctor does, it's diet and exercise are huge, you guys, and it's like, I know everyone's just like, whatever, and they'll blow it off, or they'll get into it and they'll be like on a good steady trend, but then they just drop off and they don't go back to it. But that can really cause a big impact in how you feel. You know, serotonin controls our mood. It's one of the neurotransmitters, and it's based off of what we eat, and also our exercise raises our neurotransmitters too, so this is huge. Another big one is self-care, especially with the lockdown and not going many places. A lot of us have kind of stopped taking care of ourselves in certain ways, and doing those things to take care of ourselves really has a positive impact on our mental health as well. And if watching the news makes you feel more stressed out, which it does for a lot of people, I would not advise watching it that often. If you want to watch it, sure, you can check in every once in a while, but watching the news is a big cause of stress for people, and I would advise, if that's causing you stress, to limit it or cut it out. If there's someone you talk to, friend or family, that you kind of feel stressed while you're talking to them because of the things they're saying, it's okay to be open with them and say you'd rather not talk about those things. Or if not, you can just slowly decrease the amount of time you talk to them. And it's really important that you do things that make you happy. I know you guys have a lot of things you like to do, but you don't do them, you don't prioritize them. You have to really prioritize yourself, because if you're not functioning at your best performance, how can you expect to help others? And of course, if you live with friends or family, that's a great thing because that's your support system. If you live alone, it's definitely important to reach out to friends and family by phone or video call and stay in touch and talk about how you feel if that helps you. Some of the warning signs that you may not be coping with stress in a healthy way is drinking more, using any kind of substance, or even eating more in an unhealthy amount or way. Basically anything that's not healthy for your body that you're using to help get you through this hard time. If this is you or someone you know, there are multiple resources that you can reach out to for help, and I'll put some of them in the description below. And I also have a video on effects of alcohol and addiction, so I'll put those in the description too so you can check them out. So in the end, guys, I just really want to say let's focus on being positive and here for each other. And if this was beneficial to you, please share this video and we can help spread the positivity together. We will get through this. It might be challenging, yes, but we will get through it, and we've gotten through a lot of this 2020 already, so we can definitely get through the rest. And no matter what happens, we'll always be here for each other. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, bring your awareness to the subscribe button, apply light pressure to it, and I'll see you in the next video.